All right, so you guys are doing in the intro one again, the interactive card. It's the third lesson. So you're going to do something, well, here's mine. I did a Happy Valentine's Day. When you click the green flag, it should be the outside of the card, where you'll have a message with some sort of animation using a for loop. You press the space key, and then it goes to the inside where, again, I have animation happening, along with some words. Like I said, mine is a simple Valentine's Day card. All right, I turn it off. So that's what you guys are going to do today. Your initial code, when you open it, is you will see words that are for the outside. You press space and it will change to the inside. That is this initial sprite here, the card text. You will go to costumes to change the text for your inside, and outside. I suggest you use different sprites than the ones that are there, but you will have a sprite on the outside, and then you will have a different sprite on the inside that will both animate differently. Whether you're having it change costumes, they need to move around the screen too, not just change costumes. You can see I had my balloons that were moving up the screen, in addition to the computer going back and forth. So I have multiple for loops doing that. You can go through this and it will help you understand how to do some of this different coding. It tells you how to go through, again, the costumes, switch costumes from the outside to the inside. That's how you go from, it explains to you how it's switching from the outside to the inside of the card. Animate with a loop, that's making the dog dance with the card is open. Switch to a character sprite. When the space key pressed, you've already seen it the other day when we were clicking on the icons, you now have over here, when the space key is pressed, that is what will happen to switch it from the outside to the inside. You can see here, when space key is pressed, it will then switch costumes. You can add a forever loop to your space key press, then put a next costume, or you can simply tell it the costume that you want it to switch to. I have switched costume to outside and switch costume to inside within mine. You can do next costume. To slow down, they talk about the wait when your animation is going too fast. Now adding the surprise. All right, so we have to add a surprise on the inside, which means you're doing a hide for the inside. I actually have several surprises on my inside, but you want to, when the card opens, it's going to release a lot of balloons, stars, puppies, or whatever you want. To make your card what they're going to do, I don't know how they wanted to do it. I simply copied and pasted stuff. There is a drawer for the sprites, although for some reason whenever I do it, mine is not showing up. I can't get the drawer to show up for me, but there is a way to copy code over. We'll figure that out soon. If you can't get your drawer to show up, you can just drag the code over to the sprite icon to copy it, which I'll show you in a second. The hide and show, that's how to make your code visible, or your sprite visible or not visible. Between the two, like I said, when it's clicked, this shows when the space is clicked, then it hides my words that say when the space, to click the space button. To move code between different things, this is code I need to get rid of, but what I can do if I want to move it, copy this over somewhere, you see how it kind of shakes when I move it there? That means I'm able to copy it over here. That's a way you can copy a block of code over there, since we seem to be having at least I'm not able to see the drawer at the bottom until we get that figured out. So when you add, like I said, and you can also duplicate. If you right click and duplicate, that should also copy all the code over there for you also. As you can see my code here, if I do duplicate, it's all the same code is there. So that's another way you can do it. They're showing you just to have them randomly go. I had it go up the screen just like we did before, basically moving, gliding from the bottom to the top, and then when it gets to the top, I reset it back to 0, and so it can glide up again. I want you guys to look at add special effects to your sprites to learn how to do that. You don't necessarily have to do that on this one, but we're going to be doing it soon, so I want to make sure you guys have learned how to do it. You may want to try it because it would be kind of a cool thing to possibly put from going from your front to your outside to your inside code, but I definitely want you to make sure you've learned how to do that. There's different effects you can do. In mine, I actually did changing the color effect. You can see each of my balloons change colors as we go through it, which is something that's kind of cool. And there's other effects you can do besides changing the color, pixelating. There's a lot of different effects. If you look over here, where is it? Here's the change color effect. You do the drop down, color, fisheye, whirl, pixelate, mosaic, brightness, and ghost. You can see there's a lot of these that you can play with that can do some interesting effects to them. And once you do it, you can also do clear graphic effects to go back to its original. But that's something I want you guys to try and add an effect in this also. All right, that's what I have. Guys, get to coding. This is for a grade, so make sure you get everything in there. You can see again the requirements in Canvas. You have to have a sprite on the outside, a different sprite on the inside that's animated, that is a surprise one, so that you're using show and hide. And then different words on the outside and inside, and again, this is a card, so make sure it is a card that makes sense and not just a scene. All right, see you guys tomorrow.